the Shout Loud podcast, bringing the artists you love onto your headphones. What's up, guys? It's Alex from Shout Loud TV here, and we're sitting in Paris on a boat, as a matter of fact, at Le Petit Bain. And I'm here with Andrew from Crown the Empire. How's it going?
What's up, gangster, dude? We're sitting on this boat. Look at these views, all these naked women hanging around the boat with us, dude. It's a good day, right?
It's a good day. It's just like a Lonely Islands, I'm on a boat. You know that song?
Yeah, of course. That's an American classic, bud. Hell yeah, I do. We're going to cover it tonight.
Oh, yeah? I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. Well, you promised it now, so you kind of have to keep that. Well, so you've been on tour for quite a while in Europe. How has it been?
Killer. Touring, sharing a bus with Volumes has been like madness. Cold Rain has been kick-ass, and then seeing shows, having friends that come out and know us, because we've been here a few times now, has been killer. We haven't headlined in like 4 years, so getting to play all the songs that the fans really want to hear, all the old stuff too, is like, they get so stoked, and I think it makes me stoked, so it's been good.
Yeah, I think it's been a while that you did a headliner in Europe and Germany and France and all these countries. So how is that different for you from supporting bands?
It's great. There's there's a lot less responsibility for me as a headliner because I get to take as much time as we need. You know, if shit goes wrong, it's not like we have to fix it in 2 minutes. Like, we can take our time. And as a support, it's like I have to take care of myself on this kind of stuff, because if I sound like shit, an hour-long set is a long time to be singing. So like, if you suck, like the other day, like there was one day I didn't take care of myself. I was kind of sick already. Went out there, lost my voice in like 3 songs in. Now I'm like a sitting duck for like 45 minutes, just holding the mic out to them as many times as I can. You know, it's so there's it has its ups and downs. You know, there's benefits and not, but it's great. Everything's good.
What do you think is the best strategy to maintain that same strength for your vocal cords and singing in general on tour?
It sucks because I don't do it. Taking care of yourself, man. Drinking 1,000,000 times water, not getting super fucked up, not screaming. Like, one day I remember my voice was kind of hoarse. I was like, what did I do last night? I looked on Instagram and there's a video of me running into Volume's green room just going, ah! And then everybody started screaming. There was like 10 dudes screaming in a room for no reason. And I was like, why would I do this to myself? And a lot of the times, you want to be involved in where everybody's going. They're like, hey, it's a club night. We get free drinks for going in. I'm going to be in there, but then who are you going to be? You're going to be hitting on a girl next to you trying to scream like, hey, what you come here often? She barely speaks English, so she has no idea what you're saying. It's just, it's give and take. You have to take care of yourself if you balance out that party and hanging out and stuff.
All right. So you've released 2 singles so far, 2020 and What I Am, which are, in my opinion, very different from one another. Yeah. What was the strategic reason behind releasing 2020 first and What I Am as a second single?
2020 we wanted to put out first because it kind of seemed like a high energy, like with incorporating new stuff. We never had like an intro bass riff like that before. We kind of want to paint the picture of like what kind of sci-fi tones and sounds that people could get to anticipate. What's going to be coming on the album. It was still pretty aggro. I know people were waiting to see if we were going to scream or not, and so there was like one crazy dope scream from me just to be like, we can do it. We're fucking ripping it. We wanted to put our best foot forward to them and make sure that they knew we weren't going to go full, 5 Seconds of Summer or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then What I Am came out second because we didn't want to scare anybody away. Like I said with the first one, if that we put out one of first, they would expect a super soft album. But it was too good of a song to not put out. It just seemed like the most single, a single song. It was perfectly. It sounds like a banger, and we were super shocked at how well it turned out. So we were like, fuck it, we're gonna put it out. And I don't know what song we're gonna put out next, but no, those 2 definitely we wanted to show 2 different shades of the same vibe, at least.
Speaking of What I Am, what is the general lyrical content, or like just what is the song about?
I mean, it can be about letting go of anything that isn't good for you, whether it be a person or a thing. For me, it was a person. Like, yeah, just because somebody's been in your life for a long time doesn't necessarily mean they deserve to stay in your life, you know? And that's like a hard thing for people to deal with, you know? I'm a super codependent person, you know, and I'm, you know, people you keep in close contact with, or people you consider family, are obviously, you know, having to do what's best for yourself is not easy to do for people. And I felt like, you know, people could relate. So, it ended up being like a super emotional sad boy song, you know, which is like my entire being. So, I figured here's like a genuine, real sad, I'm hurt thing, and see if people dug it, and they did. So,
but like, yeah, I feel like I've been talking to my friend about this, and we've had 2020 What I Am stuck in our heads for a couple of days now, because in my opinion your choruses are just keep getting bigger and better, so that's a compliment to you as songwriter, so that's pretty nice. Now, as for the music, we haven't talked about the music. You had theatrical themes in the past with the first EP and then the other 2 albums. Retrograde was a shift direction-wise. What can we expect from the new record in terms of the music?
Yeah, as far as the theatrical elements kind of go, it seemed like the reason why we strayed from it is because it seemed like a gimmick in and of itself to try and be theatrical as a sound, you know, if that makes any sense. I think we wanted to kind of develop our own spectacle, our own show with our own music, you know. I didn't want to kind of, you know, I love creating a world for people, but I didn't want to, you know, dig myself a hole where people were only going to expect that one type of sound. And I think for Retrograde, we were just like super into psychedelics, so we were just doing tons of drugs mostly, and it kind of spun us out of like a tons of possibilities of where we could go musically, of what we wanted to do, of things we wanted to try out and you know, experiment with. But that being said, you can't completely turn from like a spoon to a fork. They're not the same tool, you know, like this is not a knife, you know, it's got a handle on it, but it's not a knife. And so, you know, we had to pull back, you know, everything sounded really polished on Retrograde, and people associate it with being really poppy sounding. And so we kind of had to bleed the two together, you know, blend the two in a sense that we're gritty and we sound good without sounding polished and pretty, you know. So I think we're working, you know, we've got a pretty good vibe as far as bringing those two together goes.
And in terms of your artwork, just the tour poster shows a person with wires coming out of that person's head all the way to the back, and that's probably a reference to 2020, if I'm getting that right.
Yeah,
is there a theme on the new record or anything that you really address directly?
Yeah, I think the whole sci-fi sound is really in there. You know, there's like little hints of industrial, you know, kind of things. There's, you know, electronics without being straight techno, which, you know, we've also had our kind of experiences with. I think, you know, we're catching like a vibe that is new, but it still encompasses all the shit that made Crown cool to begin with too, you know?
Yeah, sounds really cool. We're looking forward to that, definitely. It's been a while since you've been touring as a 4-piece now, and how has that changed your presence on stage and how you perform?
It made everybody have to step up, you know? I scream way more than I have since, you know, the first EP, and then Tree and Brandon are both doing backing vocals. You know, we at first we try to cut out of all tracks altogether just because we're like, fuck it, we can do it ourselves, you know. And so it was just super raw sounding, all no backing vocals, and then finally now we're like, okay, like we did it, we pushed ourselves. This is, you know, we're capable more than we thought we were, you know, and yeah, it just shows growth, you know. It's like we lost an arm and then we grew back. Oh, you got a robot hand now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's been a smooth process, you know. We're super in sync with one another now, and it's it's super sick.
And how far is your progress? How's your progress with the record then? Are you done, or are you still going to be working on it?
We got 2 songs left, and I've been thinking about these 2 songs more in the last 3 days than ever. Like, when I go on tour, it's easy to just turn my brain off and just focus on the shit that's going on around me. But, bro, these last 2 songs are gonna kill me. But you know what? We have a couple of ideas. We just talked about it last night. Actually, I think we know exactly what we're missing, and I think you guys are gonna fucking love it.
I bet. Right. Okay. Just one last question. You're about to embark on the Erase Me tour with Underoath, Plot and You, and Dance Gavin Dance. How was that for you, and are you excited?
Bro, I'm a huge Underoath fan, dude. Like, since I was a little kid. And that's not saying that, like, they're old. It's saying that I'm young. I'm definitely young. But I had, like, I had older kids that showed me them, like, in summer school and stuff. And they were the first intro to, like, actual underground, like, metalcore. Like, shit that wasn't ever going to be on the radio. And they kind of encompassed the whole, like, fuck you rock and roll mentality that I had never seen before. So this is obviously big for me, and I'm trying to keep it cool. Like, I'll never tell them this, but super stoked. And then Dance Gavin Dance, we've toured before. You know, they've been around for years and years, and I'm a fan as well. And they're fucking amazing dudes, amazing musicians. And the Plot and You too. The Plot and You, they started out as like super metalcore like us, just fucking brutal music. And then the new stuff has been super poetic. Like, it's fucking beautiful. And so watching another band like us kind of grow and transform into their own specific type of niche is fun to watch. So I think it's going to be an amazing tour. So far, ticket sales are crazy. But yeah, I'm happy to be part of it, man.
I forgot one last thing. When do you estimate is your new album coming out?
You know, it was supposed to be out this year, but shit gets pushed around so much that I think I'm shooting for like first quarter of next year, like January to March, so that we can be able to tour, you know, either Europe or
Europe.
I want to make it happen, bro. But once the music comes out, that's when, you know, all the festivals decide who gets to do what. They look at all the numbers and everything like that. So hopefully they like that. We get that big dick swinging. You know what I'm saying? Woo!
Right. Okay. Thanks for talking to us. I hope you have a nice second to last show. I think tomorrow is Amsterdam, the last one. So yeah, safe travels and continue doing what you're doing. Right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you'd like to stay informed about your favorite artists, then go check us out on our website or social media. The links are in the description box. Cheers, and until next time.